differentiated point reminded me of a series of interviews. We went back to our shared alma mater
Yes.
for campus hiring, and of course, everyone looks the same on paper naturally
Yeah.
because they're
Yes.
going to the best B school in India. So the question is, how are you going to eliminate people? And my co-interviewer and I, we decided to have fun. We were just the crazy guys. So we said, look, we want to see everyone, all 110 of the applicants. And you can't interview 110 people. So we said, we'll do rapid fire, 2 minutes, just bring everyone. We want to see everyone. And then we'll shortlist and call people. Our whole point was we want to sense their vibe. And so people walk in, the experience, they know what questions we're going to ask. So our question would be, okay, what makes you you? And people would say something, and then we'd say, all right, tell us a little bit more. By the 10th guy, everyone knew what the questions are going to be. So I said, all right, what questions are they telling you to prepare for? He said, well, tell me what makes you you. All right, what's your answer? And the guy says, one guy I remember, he says, well, I'm a good stand-up comic. And then, pin drop silence in the room. We're like, okay, stand up. Let's hear it.
No, that's so uncanny because I had a very similar experience. So I went back to campus hiring after many years when I moved back to India, and I had the same feeling, which is all these smart kids, but everyone seems to be a clone of each other, and no fault of theirs. So I actually said, look, forget all the group discussions and all that other fancy stuff. Just shoot a video on your smartphone and answer 2 questions. If you were not an MBA, what would you do with your life?
Yeah.
And what's the one time you've screwed up and what did you learn from that? Because otherwise, for people, it's almost like a template, which is I'm going to be asked questions and I'll have the answers. And you're right. I think the more people can think about outside those templates, the more they actually start understanding who they are beyond those labels that are stuck on them.
Yeah. And what drove us to the people we finally hired was their passion, this raw energy. It wasn't, intelligence was a given, of course, they're at, this B school. It was their raw energy that came through about topics that they were passionate about. One guy told us about his IKEA sourcing experience, and that was mind-blowing to us. We said, look, and he's doing really well in his career. So you're right. It helps to have passions and be passionate and not to hide those in your conversations.
No, absolutely. And the last point you mentioned is really important, is not to be apologetic about who you are. I think too often, we force people into a belief that it's about conforming. It's about, there's a certain formula for success. There's a certain mold you need to fit into. I mean, ultimately, you're going to be happiest and most fulfilled when you're you. As you said, what makes you you, and being in touch with that, not being apologetic about it.
Yeah.